Just look at the sky today, people. Completely covered from chemtrails. It should be nice and blue, like how that's kind of, but the chemtrails have fanned out to this white, hazy shit. There's another one being sprayed right there. It's just one after another. That's bad. It's bad that most people don't even believe it. They think the truth is a conspiracy. It's not a fucking conspiracy. And all you gotta do is look up, have some common sense, and realize that this is not natural. But most people are lacking common sense. These pilots are getting paid quite a bit from tax money to dump this stuff on us, and hardly anything's being done to stop it. You know, most people are just silent and they enjoy their ignorance. Like Martin Luther King said one time, he said, there comes a time when silence becomes betrayal. And that's kind of what's going on right now. Sheeple would rather join evil because it's easier. You know, it would take a lot of courage and a lot of inner strength for one of these pilots to be like, no, I don't want to spray this shit on the population, on the people. I'm not doing it, even though it's paying a lot of money. Money ain't everything, people. You gotta have morals, you know, you gotta do what's right in your soul, otherwise it's gonna come back and bite you one way or another. It's karma, it's God, the universe. It'll come back and bite you one way or another. These pilots obviously don't know that. They don't know the deeper truth. They think they're doing something probably patriotic and heroic. Their excuse for spraying this is God knows what, maybe global warming, but they're the ones that pretty much probably caused global warming. And everything that the system is doing and the government does is for a sinister reason. I mean, this world is ran by evil that most people can't fathom. They can't understand it. Money is no issue to the people that run this world. They own the money. They control the money. They print it however much they want, and they charge you interest on top of that money. They tax you for everything. Nothing is free. You can't own a piece of land and not pay your property taxes, otherwise they'll seize your land. How's that freedom? You can't have a car on the road if it's not registered. How's that freedom? Being forced to slave for money, that's not freedom. People are delusional. We need to wake up the truth. These chemtrails need to stop though. This has been happening for way too far long, and they're still just going at it. And here I am over a decade later still exposing and trying to wake up people to chemtrails, but the majority of people think that it's just contrails, condensation, normal jet. Not all of it's all just jet condensation, people, especially this. The elite evil powers that be, they've attacked and poisoned everything you could think of, from everything that the masses consume. They're poisoning the food, they're poisoning the water, they're poisoning the air that you breathe. Everything that the masses consume, they're lowering their lifespans. They're dumbing them down. They're keeping their third eyes closed, calcified from having that connection with God. Most people's connection with God is just gone. They're soulless. And that's the way the system has designed people to be, has programmed people to be, from the fucked up school system to everything in the system. But anyway, I just thought I'd do another rant and show what the chemtrails are looking like where I'm at. It happens all the time. Here I am just making another video to expose them and to try to get them to stop. But the sheeplebots think that it's normal. They're so disconnected from the truth, it's not even funny. The truth is not a conspiracy theory. Sheeple need to get that and wake the fuck up. Come on, Bill. Come on. Yeah, just look at that sky, guys. It's just completely covered, and they're just spraying chemtrail after chemtrail. There's another one right there being sprayed. Yeah. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. There's another one right there being sprayed. Yeah. My dog almost rolled down there. Yeah. Alright, come on, Bill. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's a lot of spraying. That's a lot of money up there they dumping. It's a lot of money they're using to lower people's vibe. Look at that, it's like a whole grid. And the whole sky is gonna fan out to be this white hazy shit. It's gonna probably turn like darker like that and it'll rain. I'd call it toxic rain. But they block the sun all the time, so I get out and try to enjoy the sun as much as I can before these fuckers get out and block it from these chemtrails. Look at that, just chemtrail after chemtrail. There's another one being sprayed right there. Line after line to fill the whole sky up. And the masses are just ignorant to the truth of what is actually happening. They probably think it's good for them. They're doing it for a good cause. It's probably what these pilots think too. They're doing it for a good cause, but I'm telling you, this is not for a good cause. It's being, just as anything with the government, it's being used in some sinister way that the blind sheeple masses can't see. But we're just breathing this shit in. There's a train, it's going really slow. Maybe he's about to stop. It goes way back there. There's another one. Yeah, look at that. It's just awful. We want our natural skies back. It's not too much to ask. You know what I mean? We want the whole damn system to fall, but for starters, we need to get these damn chemtrails to stop. This is bad. This guy's laying it right on top of another one. Yeah. Like I like our sun, you know what I mean? I love being out in the sun It just pisses me off that I come out all the time and they're doing this shit to our skies, blocking the sun. And that's just one of many things that they're using chemtrails for. But they're depriving the masses, most people, from getting the right amount of sun that they should need and get. They're preventing people from getting in the sun. There's a lot of benefits that the sun provides to us, and they're blocking that all the time. And then God knows what we're actually breathing. There's hunches like it could be aluminum oxide, barium, strontium, nanotech, smart dust, whatever. There's all kinds of stuff that could be in these chemtrails. Some of it's admitted to being in these chemtrails. Just look at what like aluminum does to your brain, and they're dumping the hell out of aluminum oxide from these chemtrails. That's admitted. Wear my glasses, you can see kind of like little rainbow patches in the chemtrails, just proving that they're chemicals, you know. But just look at that, guys. Chemtrails everywhere. But for those of us that know or have known about chemtrails for so long, it gets annoying to us seeing this crap still happening to this day. And we've been trying to, or at least I've been knowing about chemtrails and trying to wake people up to the truth about chemtrails for over a decade now. Many years. And for us to look up in the sky to see this stuff still going on, just, it's annoying. It shows us just how stupid most people are. And it just shows us how powerless the majority of people really are. I mean, they can't do nothing about something if they don't know about it. And chemtrails, they for sure don't know about chemtrails. They think anybody that talks about the truth about chemtrails is a crazy conspiracy theorist, which that's just a term that sheeple use so they don't, when they don't want to talk about the truth, you know. You know, a lot of sheeple they don't really want to accept the truth. And some of them know that it's the truth, but they don't want to accept it because it makes them feel super stupid, in which they are anyway. But they don't want to accept that. So they'd rather not talk about the truth or throw it off as some kind of crazy conspiracy or you're nuts. Because that's easier for them to do than to actually use their brain and think, you know what I mean? So it's easier to blow you off than it is for them to accept the truth for what it is and actually use their brain and think logically and to connect the dots, which they don't know how. All those chemtrails there. There's a deer right there just checking me out. Annabelle's pulling my damn hand, so it's pulling the camera. But you can see how it's just turned the whole sky white. And this white hazy shit that we're gonna have to deal with. Now it's gonna be cloudy for several days with, like I said, some rain. Think of it as toxic rain, chemical rain. But they made like a grid. They would do like a grid pattern out of these chemtrails all day. And now this is what we're left with. And they're not done, of course. They're still spraying chemtrail on top of chemtrail, making it even thicker. There's the sun right there, behind all that white haze they created from chemtrails. It's blocked. And sheeplebots be like, oh, what a beautiful sunset. You know what I mean? Look at that. Look at this shit. Alright, so next day, this is the next day. After yesterday's heavy chemtrail spraying. And just look at the clouds today, look at the sky. And today, I guess for the next few days, we're going to be having some pretty shitty weather. And I believe a lot of this shitty weather, with the sky being completely blocked, and this cold winds and rain we're going to be having, is caused from chemtrails. They could use chemtrails to do a number of different things. One of them to be, and what I believe, is to dumb down the population. But yeah, the whole sky's like this, completely blocked, and we got some really bad weather coming. And if you know how to connect the dots, it'll tell you, it'll point to chemtrails. But people don't talk about that kind of stuff of what's the cause of this shitty weather that we're having. They just talk about the weather, like, oh, it's shitty weather, that's it. But they don't talk about the cause, which caused a lot of this shitty weather that we're having. I'll tell you guys what, sheeplebots, they're so indoctrinated and programmed to think the way that they think. And they only see the world from their little small perspective of what they've been programmed, how they've been programmed to see it. They haven't leveled up their perspective, they haven't leveled up their consciousness, so they don't see the world for what it is. And anybody that sees the world differently than they do, because they think that they have the right perspective and they think they know it all, their energy is so disconnected from mine because their perspective on life and everything, their perspective is at a very low vibe. I used to be there when I was a sheep, and they're stuck on that one way of thinking and that one perspective. They don't know how to, nor do they want to level up their consciousness and see the bigger picture. Even though I've tried and tried to enlighten them and level up their perspective, they just don't want to. They don't want to go. Some people are just going to be stuck on the third dimension. They don't want to go to the fifth dimension. They're afraid of what they don't understand. And it's easier for them to dismiss the truth than it is for them to figure it out on their own. But they're just all in like a hypnotized, programmed, indoctrinated, brainwashed kind of stance or trance. And it's just wild. Sheeplebots, they see the world for how the elite want them to see the world. It's very simple with the sheeplebots. So of course, people that have leveled up their perspective and transcended up to the fifth dimension, they're going to look at us like we're crazy because they just don't know. They don't see nor feel the energy world, the spiritual world. Everything's just physical, and that's all they believe is in this physical world. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, there's a lot of fake Christians out there, you know. I'm not a big religious guy or big on religion, but even in the Bible it says don't be for this world, you know what I mean? And if you look at all the Christians, the majority of Christians are all for this world and about this world. So they don't even listen to what they're feeding themselves, you know what I mean, from the Bible. That's why I try to avoid sheeple at all costs as much as I can, because their energy is just so tainted with evil and negative vibes. It's just fucked up to be around. I enjoy staying by myself, maybe with my dog out in nature, in the middle of nowhere, away from people. It's just, I get good connection with God that way. You gotta boost your signal, you gotta boost your connection with God by taking all kinds of necessary steps to do so. You're not going to have a good connection with God if you're in society, in the system all the time. You got to get out of society and the system and go out in nature to have a good connection with God. Yeah, your cell phone coverage might not be good there, you know, if you're in the woods or in the middle of nowhere in nature, but your connection with God is going to be better. You see? People's sheeplebots are so connected to the system. You got to disconnect. They need to disconnect from the system to have a better connection and signal with God. You know, when you're out in nature, away from society, away from 5G towers, your signal strength is going to go up for your connection to God, the universe. Your intuition, your imagination, your creativity is just going to boost if you're away from society, away from this matrix system that we're living in. It's just hard for sheeple to believe that the government is altering and manipulating the weather. I know it's hard for them to believe. It was for me at first too when I was finding this out, but it's admitted that they are. But they're not just spraying chemtrails just to manipulate the weather. And I mean, they're dumping a lot of stuff on us for us to breathe, that they want us to breathe. The evil powers that be, the elite that control this world, that control the system. We're breathing in so much crap that we shouldn't be breathing in that is altering us and changing us, even though we might not be able to feel like it is. Believe me, it is. Just like with all the stuff that they put in the food and the water, you know, the fluoride in the water, it alters people, it changes people. All the drugs that the pharmaceutical companies get people hooked on, it alters them, it changes them. Especially if you do it for so long, you know what I mean? And that's what's been going on with these chemtrails. They've been spraying chemtrails for a very long time now. And it's taking a toll on us all, it really is. Even though we don't really know for sure really what it is that is doing to us, it is. And who knows, the vax and the chemtrails could go hand to hand, just like chemtrails and heart. You know, I think it's kind of funny that sheeplebots, they'll kind of get mad at you, not like you. They'll become haters real quick once they realize you're not as dumb as they are. You're not programmed and conditioned like they are. And we, us truth seekers, chosen ones that know the truth, we're just disappointed in them that they do not know the truth. We're disappointed that they choose to live in ignorance instead of seeking truth and knowledge, which eventually will gain wisdom. See, the beast system
is made mainly to destroy people's souls and to create obedient sheeplebots that'll serve the beast system and be soulless. That's how the beast system wants people, is to be soulless. See, the thing is that sheeplebots, they just get comfortable being stupid. They get comfortable being ignorant. So they don't feel like they need to change just because they're comfortable staying ignorant. Well, I'm here to shake some shit up and let them know. And that's just because they don't know the truth. You know what I mean? If they knew the truth and they seek truth, their comfort zone would not be so comfortable anymore. They'd realize that they're a damn slave. They'd realize that they don't even have freedom. They're so brainwashed. But yeah, the truth pisses people off, and the truth does not give a fuck. So that's what the truth will do. It'll enlighten you, help you, it can piss you off, but the truth is the truth. You can't grow spiritually. You can't evolve as a person, really, unless you seek truth and make truth your ally and live in your truth. Sheeplebots have made the truth their enemy, which is ignorant.
Alright, and this is what we're left with tonight. Position. So yeah, thanks Chemtrails. Yeah. Anyway, till next video. Peace and love all. Like.